Articulation volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I am your host, Blind Prime, and for today, I have for you Star Wars Black Series, The Mandalorian, the Armorer. Um, she is the Mandalorian Armorer. She's apparently the leader of the Mandalorians on that first planet that you see in the first season of the show. She's a pretty neat guy, or gal. She's a pretty neat woman. Anyway, you are watching More Than Meets the Eye on Blind Prime, and this channel is devoted to raising awareness for the blind through alternative means and methods. So please do all the things below that everyone else asks you to do, and we'll get right into this. So, from a perspective of a blind person, this is not bad. Like, I enjoy the molding. This we'll talk about the molding first and the accessories, and then we're going to get into what I don't like about it. So, accessory wise, it comes with this really cool back, uh, like half cloak. Anyway, it's got a rough texture, like it's made of fur, and I'm gonna assume it is made of fur. It comes off. I have some of that sticky tack, some museum grade sticky tack putty stuff, actually on the back because of the fact that this port isn't the greatest of ports. Let me go ahead and clear away all of that stuff so you can actually see it better. This stuff is pretty amazing. It never leaves residue. It just kind of rolls off. It's like that weird clear stuff that you get in some packages that was sticky. Anyway, the back of her molding, get the rest of this cleared off, is pretty nice. We got some good armor textures here. You can feel where the armor segments connect together, and you can even feel like the extra armoring that goes around the backbone. That was a good of paying attention to detail right there. She's got this upper top that's obviously the top of the breastplate, and seeing as this is a woman, it is an act. It's a plate that protects her breasts, so it's even more so a breastplate, which is kind of funny. The the head has some great sculpting to it as well. You got the traditional Mandalorian T-shaped visor, but you also have these nice little details where there's sunken in bits, and on the back of the head you can feel all these little lines that run up the sides, little extra pieces of armor or just decoration, and you can feel her little crown thing she has on her head, which is really neat. I assume that's a crown thing, and it's got the little horns on top of her helmet. Never had a Mandalorian with little horns on top of their helmet. They usually have little antennae, not little horns. So that's kind of neat. And yeah, texturing wise, all the way down her front, we've got a good little bit. We've got a nice belt. This belt is really cool. You can feel little pouches on it, and you can feel where it like buckles in. They actually did a molding of the buckle. And then she's got her smithing coat on, her waistcoat for smithing with, and it's made of a weird. It's made of that kind of squishy plastic that's still moldable, and which will allow you to get a little extra range and motion from the legs. And it's got little cuts on the sides to better enable movement. And the legs, you can even like spread them out like that far. That's pretty nice. I appreciate them including these little cuts to allow extra movement. And it's more like a tabard than a actual smithing cloak, but seeing as it goes down far on the front, I'm going to just make the assumption it's a smithing cloak. There's well, she's a smith, so of course she's got to have a smithing cloak. This weird apron thing, this weird cloak thing on her back, I don't even know what it is, but it's got a good texture. It's got a great texture. Let me roll around that stuff and put it more towards the center. Cool. As for accessories, this woman comes with her crazy smithing hammer. That's really long. Bing, bing, bing. And she comes with little tongs that she can put in her hand. And these tongs are they're okay. They're pretty simple structure. You can pull them out, and you see it's just It's just two pieces of plastic that are kind of connected together on one end. But when she holds them, they look like tongs. So we'll set that off to the side too. Here you go. Go over here. For some reason, they gave her some nice hands, but she has a trigger finger on each of her hands, which is kind of funny. Like, what do you need the trigger finger for? You didn't come with any guns. You could have gotten some better hands for smithing with. And yeah, leg wise, this figure's got some great articulation all down the sides of her armored legs. And this is a nicely not articulated, molded figure. This is a nicely molded figure. But now we're going to get into some of the things I don't like. Thing number one is they didn't put any molding on the shoes. The shoes are pretty flat. That's a little sad. They could have given us boots or something. And for some reason, the port to peg her into platforms and stuff is at the front of her foot instead of the heel. Which I never like it at the front. I always prefer it at the heel. Articulation wise, she's all right. She's got single bend knees, which I despise, and I'm going to tell you why I don't like them. And these knees are kind of the reason why I'm not going to be a person buying Black Series. But you can feel in here, you can feel the joint mechanisms. It feels like a 90s toy with the knee bend. I don't know why they couldn't have given us a double knee bend in that situation. Maybe they were trying to keep it more towards something else, but I don't know why. I find single knee bend to be very abhorrent. And elbow-wise, she also has single bend elbows, but at least they did a better job with her elbows to hide the joint. They didn't really do great a job. You can still feel it right there. It's not very well hidden at all. And I imagine that it changes the look of the figure. Unless they did a really good job with the paint sculpt, but they didn't really do a good job with the molding sculpt there. And I could totally feel that it's just two pieces of plastic put together instead of a nice hidden hinge or something. Like, come on, Lady J had a great hinge for her elbows. These guys really need to work together sometimes. Hasbro has all these figures underneath one roof, and you would think they'd work together to make the best figures possible. But no, that's not what they do. You see plenty of weird designs everywhere. Her head has got great mobility. It's actually like she can crack her neck like Piccolo. Crack, crack. She can look up. She can look down. She's also got an amazing midriff where she can move up and down. There is no swivel. Well, there is a bit of a swivel. It's a tough swivel, and it happens right up below her breasts. That's a weird place to have a swivel, but you can swivel her all over the place from there. It's there's no waist swivel. If there is, it's being hidden by this cloak that she's wearing, her apron. Yeah, I think that's enough talking about like these things. Let's get the size comparison out so you can get an idea on how she looks. We've got our good old 6-inch size comparison buddy over here, Mr. Cobra Infantry. Come on out. Here we go. There's the Cobra Infantry. We're gonna you would come here. All right. Now a fellow YouTuber explained to me that my auto is autofocusing is focusing on things that it shouldn't be focusing on. So I'm being careful to ensure that the infantry stays kind of in the foreground to stop us from having any problems. But let's see. We're going to compare sizes here, and the armor here, she is actually shorter than the Cobra Infantry. Not by much though, not by much at all. So I'd say like, let's get them back to back here. Let's get a back to back comparison going. Yeah. The top of her head, the armorer's head, comes halfway up, or most of the way up 2/3 of the way up, the infantry soldier, Cobra infantry's head. All right, Cobra infantry, you served your purpose. Go over here and don't change the focus of the camera. I'm going to wiggle you around. Look, camera, camera. We got it? We got it? Okay, cool. I hope so. Yeah, there's the size comparison. And honestly, guys, I'm not going to be getting any more Black Series. I have honestly not been happy with this. This is not a figure I feel like posing or putting anywhere. It's it's just not for me. And I wanted to show you this on the show and explain to you that this will be the only Black Series I do, unless I do some 1/12 vehicles or the occasional holy crap, this one is amazing and I have to have it kind of things. But just so you guys know, this is not going to be a regular occurrence, not like the G.I. Joe Classified. The G.I. Joe Classified is different in the fact I purchased one for the channel because I wanted some more views and subscribers. And then I fell in love with the guys because I just sat there and played with him for a while and was like, this is an amazing figure. And this is an amazing figure if you want the looks. From what I'm assuming from what people say, if you want the paint apps and how it looks on a shelf standing there, this is the gal for you. The Black Series is for you. But if you're like me and you want to pose them and, action scenes where they're blasting each other away or running from combat or, dying on the ground and stuff like that, the Black Series isn't really for you. You can get some good poses, you can get some good action scenes, but the Classified series still has the articulation necessary to accomplish some really amazing poses. Other than that, this Black Series is top notch. It's just not something for me, and it may be for you. So don't let me dissuade you. You make your own choices on this, and these are top notch figures. They get plenty of praise for what they are, and what they are is something that looks pretty on a shelf. At least that's my opinion on it. And well, I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I hope you tune in next time where I will finally be taking care of Rekar. I just found this figure and realized I hadn't done a Black Series. I actually looked over everything I've done in the past and went, man, I haven't done this. I haven't done the armor. I bought it months ago, going to do a video on it, and it just kind of got set off to the side. But anyway, guys, I'm Blind Prime, and you've been watching More Than Meets the Eye. And I hope that you've enjoyed the show, and I need to get my little zapper. No! Okay. Well, no. Stay. Just stay there. All right. Tune in next Prime. Bye for now.